Hello everyone, I am Simone and welcome to my channel. Today's video is the first episode of the series The History of Astrology, partially inspired by and based on insights from the book And on the Ninth Day, God Created Astrology, authored by my father-in-law, in which he offers a unique blend of personal experience with the foundational history and theory of the subject. You'll find links to the book in the description below. This video series about the history of astrology is an in-depth exploration of the profound origins of astrology, tracing its evolution from ancient divination to a sophisticated system of celestial understanding. Our journey starts in the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia. For millennia, humanity has been captivated by the night sky, the rhythmic dance of celestial bodies. Sun, moon, and stars was not merely a spectacle. It was perceived as a divine language, a direct communication from the gods. This perception laid the foundation for both astronomy and astrology, disciplines that, for much of antiquity, were intricately interwoven. Astrology in particular transcended mere observation. It became a powerful force shaping religious beliefs, cultural practices, and the very fabric of ancient societies. Our earliest evidence of organized celestial observation and divination stems from Mesopotamia, the Fertile Crescent located in the present-day Iraq. Specifically, the practice of seeking omens from the heavens began during the Sumerian civilization, a period flourishing from approximately 4500 to 1900 BCE. In this first stage, Mesopotamian astrology was fundamentally an elite practice. It was the exclusive domain of the priestly community, who served as intermediaries between the divine and the mortal realms. Their focus was not on individual fates, but on omens that directly impacted the prosperity and stability of the city-state, the basic political unit of Sumerian society, and, crucially, the welfare of its ruler. Early Sumerian observations centered primarily on the movements of Moon, Sun, and Venus, looking for signs that could portend harvest successes, military victories, or impending disasters. While specific monarchs of the earliest Sumerian periods are often legendary or semi-historical, the concept of kingship and its direct link to divine favor was paramount for figures such as Gilgamesh of Uruk, whose legendary reign is placed within the early dynastic period, for about 2900 to 2334 BCE. It was also during the later Sumerian period, particularly the third dynasty of Ur, that the construction of the monumental ziggurats reached its peak. These stepped pyramid-like temple towers, a distinct characteristic of ancient Mesopotamian civilizations, were not merely religious buildings. In fact, their elevated platforms served as vital observatories, allowing priests to gain a clearer vantage point for celestial observation, crucial to both astronomy and astrology. As civilizations evolved, so did their engagement with the cosmos. During the Akkadian Empire, existed between 2334 and 2154 BCE, under formidable rulers such as Sargon of Akkad, the emphasis on state-level omens continued. The Akkadians, inheriting much of the Sumerians, further standardized divinatory practices, integrating astral observations into royal decrees and strategic planning. The celestial order was seen as a reflection of the earthly one, directly influencing the fate of empires. Sargon, the founder of the Akkadian Empire, was himself deeply invested in consolidating power through divine sanction, utilizing omens to legitimize his vast conquest across Mesopotamia. A pivotal period arrived with the rise of the Old Babylonian Empire. It existed between approximately 1894 and 1595 BCE, and it was during this era that a significant consolidation of astral omen knowledge occurred. The vast accumulated observations, particularly those concerning the moon, sun, and planets, began to be codified into extensive series of clay tablets. Kings like Hammurabi, who reigned between 1792 and 1750 BCE, famous for his law code, meticulously relied on these diviners, whose readings of celestial phenomena influenced state policy and justice. This period saw the strengthening of the link between celestial events and terrestrial outcomes, particularly concerning the king and the well-being of the realm, laying crucial groundwork for later systematic compilations. Following the Old Babylonian period, Mesopotamia entered a complex phase with the emergence of several powerful entities. Among these, it is worth mentioning, for its link with astrology, that of the Kassites, who ruled on Babylon for about 4 centuries after its sack by the Hittites in 1595 BCE. While not necessarily originating entirely new astrological methodologies, Kassite kings like Kurigalzu I were diligent custodians of the astrological texts and practices, ensuring their preservation and continued development within the Babylonian heartland. Simultaneously, the Aryan people, composed of many warrior tribes of Mesopotamian origin located in the northern part of Mesopotamia and Syria, and united in the powerful kingdom of Mitanni from about 1650 to 1270 BCE, were also actively involved in astral divination. They often incorporated Mesopotamian elements into their own religious systems, showcasing the widespread influence of these practices even on neighboring civilizations. However, the true architects of what would become the basis of much of later systematic astrology were the Neo-Assyrians, existed from 911 to 612 BCE, and subsequently the Neo-Babylonians, often referred to as the Chaldean Dynasty, from 626 to 539 BCE. Under powerful Assyrian kings like Ashurbanipal, the systematic observation of the night sky reached unprecedented levels of precision. During this period, the construction of magnificent ziggurats lived a second golden age. Ashurbanipal himself amassed a vast clay tablets library in Nineveh, preserving countless omen texts, including comprehensive copies of Enuma Anu Enlil, the ancient and most important Babylonian text that represented a series of omen tablets that interpret celestial events and divine messages. The Assyrians and Babylonians excel in mathematics, and it is to their advanced sexagesimal numerical system, meaning based on 60 units, that we owe the very divisions of minutes and seconds in astronomical measurement, a legacy that endures globally. These astrologers meticulously mapped the heavens, identifying constellations and tracking planetary movements with remarkable accuracy. A monumental leap occurred during the first half of the first millennium BCE, primarily under the Neo-Babylonian scholarship. The Babylonians developed the concepts of the ecliptic, the apparent path of the sun across the celestial sphere, and critically the zodiac. While early Sumerian and Babylonian texts referenced to an 18 constellation system for lunar path tracking, sometimes referred to as the path of the moon, by the 4th or 5th century BCE, a standardization took place, solidifying the 12-star constellation that form the basis of our contemporary zodiac. This shift is particularly evident in the later Neo-Babylonian astronomical texts and horoscopes. These 12 segments of the zodiac belt became analogous to the 12 schematic months of the year. Each segment represented a zodiac sign, symbolized by an array of figures, animals, mythological hybrids, humans, and inanimate objects, many of which are recognizable to us today. Each sign was represented with characteristic traits and was believed to be governed by one or more of the 7 celestial bodies known to them: the Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, and Mars. These visible planets were revered as gods or lesser deities, each possessing unique traits and influential powers. With the advanced understanding, particularly under kings like Nabucodonosor II of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, who reigned from 605 to 562 BCE, astrologers were not only able to chart the current positions and movements of celestial bodies, but, through sophisticated mathematical astronomy, could also calculate their position in the past and project them into the future. This groundbreaking capability provided insights into the intricate correlations between celestial phenomena and terrestrial events, laying the fundamental groundwork of what would eventually become birth charts. However, the complete system of classical horoscopic astrology, with concepts like the ascendants and houses, would only fully emerge later, in the 2nd century BCE, when Mesopotamian and Egyptian astrological traditions converged in Hellenistic Alexandria. Another significant development during this period was the emergence of medical astrology, a specialized branch focused on astrological prognosis for disease, correlating celestial alignments with human health and illness. By 539 BCE, the glory of Mesopotamia as an independent power faded as it was assimilated into the vast Persian Achaemenid Empire, following the conquest by Cyrus the Great. This was followed by Alexander the Great's conquest of Mesopotamia in 331 BCE, leading to the subsequent Seleucid Empire, which ruled until approximately 141 BCE, and then later by the Romans, who established a presence and annexed part of Mesopotamia, notably from 115 CE under Emperor Trajan, though their full control varied and was contested mainly with the Persian Empire, with the Mesopotamian region later being a frontier until the 7th century CE. In fact, at various stages, Roman control over Mesopotamia clashed and alternated with the Persian controls under the Parthian Empire and the Sasanian Empire, before finally falling to the Islamic rule in the mid-7th century, with the decisive conquest occurring between 633 and 638 CE. During these periods of foreign domination, Mesopotamian astrological knowledge was not extinguished. Rather, it was absorbed, adapted, and integrated with Egyptian divinatory and astrological practices, giving rise to the influential system of Hellenistic astrology. Through each epoch, the celestial legacy of Mesopotamia continued to ripple outwards, influencing new civilizations and shaping the course of astrological thought. The Mesopotamians, from the Sumerians to the Neo-Babylonians, laid the very bedrock of organized astrological practice. Their diligent observations, mathematical ingenuity, and profound belief in the interconnectedness of cosmos and human destiny established a framework that would resonate for millennia. In our next episode, we will journey to ancient Egypt, a civilization with its own unique relationship with the stars, and discover how their spiritual and astronomical practices further enrich the tapestry of astrological history. If you found this detailed historical account insightful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel for more rigorous explorations. Don't forget to check out the book and On the Ninth Day, God Created Astrology for further reading. Link in the description. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. See you in the next episode.